Hello everybody, this is Albert with Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today I'm going to introduce our cinnamon spice black tea. And before we begin, please visit us here at Green Tea House in New Braunfels, Texas, halfway between San Antonio and Austin. We'd love to see you if you're ever down here in Texas, or if you're local, of course, come visit us. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell so these episodes come fresh to you. We have over 100 and tons of episodes here. And post a comment if you like. So, as I mentioned before, we do a custom blend every month. And to presage the autumnal weather that we're hoping is coming, I created a cinnamon black or a cinnamon spice tea. So what does this contain? First of all, it is a black tea. So when you hear cinnamon tea being used, we've talked about it on the Tisane episode. If it does not have Camellia sinensis or the tea plant in it, really we shouldn't use the word tea. So you might drink cinnamon teas, but really that's a misnomer. It should be cinnamon tisane or cinnamon, you can call it a herbal, even though cinnamon's a spice. That's a cinnamon drink. So that's not gonna have caffeine because you're using cinnamon as the sole or predominant ingredient. Cinnamon spice, this is black tea with cinnamon sticks, and then we throw in cloves and orange. So it's the classic cinnamon spice black tea. This is something that you can put sweetener and milk, and it's one of those classic autumnal blends, similar to the pumpkin spice chai that we had for the September blend. Again, trying to usher in fall weather, because if we were up north, September, it would feel like September, and we'd have the leaves turning and whatnot. And even as I'm recording this on October, 14th, it was 95 degrees. So either way, this is a tea that makes you feel autumnal. Why is that? Well, cinnamon, cloves in particular, these always make you think of cooler weather. There's something about the spice that is cloves that is just so naturally warming. So when you look at the liquor of this tea, you'll see that it is red, because remember, black teas, we in the West call them black, but in China they call them red tea based on the liquor, and the liquor is going to be some color of red. Also, given that this has a large proportion of cinnamon sticks, that's going to lighten the redness of the color. Because if you were to just look at the black tea that we're using, and we're using the classic Chinese black tea of Keeman. Keeman's been around in the West since the 1600s. The Portuguese and the Dutch and later the East India Company were all shipping this tea, and this is one of the most famous black teas to the West, Keeman. So if you were to just steep Keeman, this would be a darker red. But this has got a lot of Keeman, a lot of cinnamon, and then it's got the cloves and the orange. So that's why the liquor is a little lighter. Either way, how would you drink this? You could drink it straight like I'm doing right now. And I would recommend a 5-minute infusion 3 times. So 5-minute infusion, at least 2 times on the 5-minute infusions. And on that last time, on that third try, I would ratchet up the temperature. Ideally, this is a Keeman. I would say probably do it at 200 degrees. Full boil will not destroy this tea, but I would probably do it at 200 degrees, the first infusion, and then for each subsequent infusion, and we talked about it and how you should change your infusions depending on what session, what infusion you are in your session. Remember, a session is how many times you infuse the leaves. We talked about that in a previous episode. I would say for the second and third infusion, I'd probably, the second infusion, go a little shorter, so maybe like 4 minutes on the second infusion, and on that last infusion, to really get out the essence and juice of this cinnamon spice, I would probably do full boil. Caffeine levels, not a lot. Why? Because a large proportion of this tea is not Camellia sinensis. Again, it's got orange, cloves, and cinnamon. So this is something you can drink at night. Don't worry about the caffeine, especially if you're milk and sugaring, that's going to dilute it even more. Guys, cinnamon spice, drink it Thanksgiving, drink it for Christmas, drink it whenever it's cold, drink it when it's hot. Post in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care. God bless.